Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm comparing three very different seat cushions. One is foam, one is filled with air, and the other one is gel. Each one of these is the highest selling model of their type on Amazon, so let's see how they compare in today's video. All right, let's take a look at the three contenders. First up is this foam seat cushion. This one looks a lot like the Comfy Life, which I reviewed several years ago. The Comfy Life is still the #1 seller on Amazon, but it's more of a hybrid. It has foam and gel, and I already reviewed it, so I'm not including this video. But this is the Everlasting Comfort. It's one big solid foam piece. Let's take a look at the unboxing and see how that went. Here's the Everlasting Comfort Memory Foam Seat Cushion. I paid $52.95 for this, but it has over 80,000 reviews. Ranked #2 in the seat cushions and is the highest ranked pure memory foam seat cushion. The claims are that it's made with pure memory foam, adapts to your curves, and gives comfort, relief, and tailbone support. Fits all types of chairs, cars, and more. Cleaning instructions here. How to use. Place it on a chair and sit on it, right? Well, the pros on Amazon, people love the balance of support and softness. Some say it's good for sciatica pain. Other people said it's great for taking long trips in the car. There aren't really a lot of negative reviews, but some people who didn't like it, they said that it's not comfortable and it's too firm. Next up is this gel cushion. It's kind of generic. I don't even think there's a brand on the box. It looks a little bit like this egg sitter and the purple cushion as far as the material goes. But this is the highest selling pure gel seat cushion on Amazon. So let's take a look at the unboxing and see how that went. All right, this is the gel seat cushion. I paid $27.99 for this. It's ranked #11 in seat cushions, but it's the highest ranked of all the pure gel cushions on there. It looks a lot like the egg sitter from a couple years ago. The claims are that its large, heavy design alleviates various pain symptoms with honeycomb design and free-flowing air channel, prevents sweating, and maintains heat dissipation. Those who liked it, they love how firm it is, yet soft, also maintains a low profile. They like how it's versatile enough to fit into a wide variety of chairs. Now those who didn't like it, some said it had a strong chemical smell. Some said it's uncomfortable and too firm. A few complained that the vendor was offering compensation for a good review. And finally, we have Dr. Air, which is an air-filled seat cushion. I think this is the only air-filled seat cushion on the entire top 100 on Amazon. Let's take a look at how the unboxing went. All right, this is the Dr. Air. I actually paid $25.99 for this. It's currently ranked #49 in seat cushions on Amazon, but it's the highest rated air-filled cushion I could find. The claims are that it has a patented air cushion technology that provides a cushion and support without cutting off circulation, good for lower back pain and sciatica, U-shaped cutout for comfort, non-slip base, good for cars, wheelchairs, couch chairs, and more. The people on Amazon who liked it said they liked the low profile and tailbone relief. Others liked how it doesn't slide around in the chair. Of those who didn't like it, some people said it was uncomfortable, like sitting on a Ziploc bag filled with air, while others said it's not good for back support. All right, so the preliminaries out of the way, the only thing really to do now is to test them out. So let's check out how my tests went. All right, let's take a look at how these cushions fit on just a standard, not very comfortable chair here. We'll start off with the foam cushion. Let me measure this thing out. Roughly 17.5 by 14. It's very thick by about 2 3/4. This is just another case in here, but it's just solid. It's just solid foam. One big piece in there. The Dr. Air, this one fits perfectly on there. Look at that. See how this measures out? Oh, roughly 16.5. Say 16, and it's very thin. It's maybe an inch thick. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of air in there, and you can't open it up in any way. It looks like it's completely sealed. Is that going to be thick enough? I can go all the way down to the bottom. It's time for the gel cushion. Let's take this out of this case, see what it looks like. It'll be fun to put it back in here, huh? It's very large and kind of cheap feeling. 17, see 18.5, and then it's not even an inch thick. You can get it to fit on there, but you kind of have to finagle it through. I guess that'll work. Let's try it on a different chair now. Now this is the chair I normally sit in every day. Currently I have the gigantic purple cushion on there. The case actually tore a while back, so I use it without, I just put a cloth over it. Even without the case, it's very big. It slides around a lot, and it's very heavy and very thick. I mean, I like it. It just moves around too much for my taste. And it's also 3 years old now. The foam cushion, there's still a lot of room. You have a lot of room on here. This is a non-slip surface, but I'm not sure how much non-slip is gonna be. We'll have to find out in a minute here. Dr. Air. This feels like it's maybe gonna slip a little bit less, so we'll have to see about that. The gel cushion, this is much thinner than the purple. Similar material, and that's not moving. Of course, it's not in this case though. Now we got preliminaries out of the way. Let's try the first sit test. And first impression is very hard. And I'm kind of slowly sinking. That's kind of how memory foam is though. Some people like that kind of hard memory foam support feeling. Some people might think it's too hard. Of course, your first impression isn't as good as your impression after sitting on it all day, which I will do. But once you sink into it, it doesn't feel too bad. I do notice the cutout in the back where I'm sitting on, so I guess that's good. Dr. Air. I'm really curious about this one. Probably the most curious. Oh wow. You know, when I squeezed it with my hands, it felt like there wasn't much to it, but I guess when you put all that weight on there, distribute it, it's not too bad. I don't feel the cutout as much as I did in the first one, but it is supporting my weight. If I move around, I guess I can kind of feel the individual bubbles in there. That's different. You know, it works better than I thought it would. I put the case back on the gel cushion. It wasn't as hard as you might think. All right, so the first thing I noticed is that I kind of sank all the way down to the chair. This one also doesn't have a cutout in the back, which I kind of noticed the difference. First impression is that these are all very different. And once again, your first impression isn't really the important one. It's the one you get after you've been using it for a while. So let's move on to the next test in the car and see how that goes. All right, so I got some errands to run today, and I figured I would try all 3 cushions in the car for my first car impression. Now, throughout the week, I'm gonna have a cushion in each one of 2 places, my desk chair or my car. I'm gonna rotate them all throughout the week, but this is my first impression in the car. Let's start off with the foam cushion and see how it goes. Hope that's not too thick in there. We shall see. Oh wow, I'm sitting way up here. First of all, my legs are almost touching the steering wheel. I wonder if I can adjust my seat down. Oh yeah, I can. Oh, maybe it's not so bad after all. All right, so my first impression is that it is very thick. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting very high up, even though I lowered my seat a little bit. At this point, I'm not really sure it's more comfortable than my normal seat is. It's comfortable, but it's not really a huge upgrade. The foam was a bit harder than I probably would have liked. I know you have to have some support, but it seems to be a balance that you want to strike, and I'm not sure this struck that balance for me. So my first impression of the foam cushion is I am a little bit unsure about this one because it is firmer than I probably would have expected it to be, but maybe you need that firmness for support long term. I mean, I've only been on for a few minutes. I'm not really sure yet. Let me sit on it for a while and see how it actually goes. I got quite a few stops to make. I'll be rotating through all these cushions. We'll see how this one goes. My only concern is that it's pretty high. If you are unable to lower your seat at all, it might be a problem for you. I was able to lower mine, so that wasn't a problem. If your seat's as low as it can go, this might be too high. First impression, not too bad. I'm not totally sure yet. I gotta see how it compares to the others, but I gotta stop and fuel up. And I don't mean fuel up my car, I mean fuel up me. So I'm gonna keep using the cushion while I sit here and have my lunch. Jimmy John's is really fast. I think I was in there maybe, not even 2 minutes from the time I ordered to the time I left. Very quick. So I'm gonna enjoy my lunch, listen to some music, and enjoy this cushion and see how it goes. King is a very underrated 80s band, by the way, but I digress. All right, removing the foam cushion. Now it's time for the air cushion. I'm really curious about this one. I think I need to put my seat back up a little bit. This one is much thinner than the previous cushion. That doesn't mean it won't work though. So the air cushion is kind of interesting. When you first feel it with your hands, it feels like there's hardly any air in there at all. But when you sit on it, it feels much firmer than you would expect. Something else is interesting is that I can feel the individual bubbles that I'm sitting on. I don't think that was on purpose, but I can certainly feel them. It definitely feels like a cushion, and I would say that so far it's hanging with the others, but we got a long way to go. I got about a half-hour drive out to Boulder City, and then we'll make our next switch. So I'm a little bit impressed by the air cushion. It definitely performed better than I thought it was going to. I had kind of low expectations, but not too bad really. Now it's time for the final first impression in the car, and that's the gel cushion. Let's see how that goes. All right, here we go. Here we go. It immediately slid over. Just sitting for the first time, it's a very low profile. It's soft, actually. It feels kind of nice. It's so low, I kind of don't feel like I'm sitting on anything. It just feels like my seat's a little bit softer, which that's kind of nice. Let's drive around for a while and see if the first impression holds up. La 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 la. Whoa. Wow. They think I have something. I don't have anything, guys. I'm gonna say I kind of surprisingly like this one a lot more than I thought I would. The only con so far is that it seems like it's sliding around a lot. I almost wonder if I should just take the case off of it and just use it without a cover at all. But so far, it's actually not too bad. It's for as thin as it is, you would think it wouldn't provide much cushion and much support, but so far, not too bad. So what I've discovered in using these seat cushions for a while is this type of surface you're sitting on seems to determine how well you're going to like the cushion. Like for example, we'll start with the Dr. Air. Now this is pretty thin, low profile. I've noticed that it seems to work best on things that are already padded but not necessarily comfortable, like a car seat or a gaming chair. In those situations, it works quite well. When it's hard, like a metal chair or a park bench, not so much. You sink all the way down, you kind of feel the hard surface below you, so I think it's kind of geared toward a softer surface. I should also point out that because it's so low profile, I never really noticed the cutout as much as the others. All right, now to the foam cushion. Now to me, this is the least comfortable of the three. Not only is it the hardest of the three, but also if you don't line yourself up with all the different contours in there, it can kind of feel kind of bumpy. On the other hand, this one is much better for hard surfaces like a park bench or a metal chair because it has a lot more support, it's much thicker. There is a zipper on the bottom that I kind of worry about being on my leather gaming chair. I worry that that's gonna mess that up. It hasn't, but I just kind of worry about the placement of that. Another thing to consider is it's so thick that if you have it somewhere like a car, if you can't lower your car seat any, it's going to raise you up several inches. Now, if you're short, that might be a good thing, but if you're kind of tall or average size, it might not. This is also by far the most expensive of these three, over 50 bucks. So to me, this is the one that I like the least. All right, for the generic gel cushion, I kind of like this when it's on a soft surface, like a gaming chair or a car seat. But with the case on, I didn't like it as much because it slid around so much. There was one time where I got on my car and it slid right out. When I took the cover off, it didn't slide as much, but then it started leaving these kind of strange impressions on my legs, even when I had pants on. With the case on, the gel cushion, very slippery, slides around. Doesn't matter how you put it on there, it's gonna slide either way. So without the case on, it doesn't move at all. It grips on the chair. As long as you don't mind this weird texture and potentially having this design on your legs, it's actually better without the case on. Like the air cushion, this does not do well on hard surfaces like a metal chair because you sink right through it. In my computer chair or in my car, this was my favorite of the three, although I don't think it would be nearly as good on a very hard surface. But that's all I've got. If you've used any of these cushions, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.